Hello everyone, and welcome to my June Humble Choice review. To start things off, the change of giveaway entries from last month compared to the month before was definitely noticeable. Because of this, and to even the odds, I'm giving away an extra game from the Humble Choice this month. Congrats to Jason G for winning Planet Zoo. Keep watching to learn about the double giveaway this month, and let's get to the review. So first up here we have Star Wars Squadron. My first impressions of this title were likely similar to yours. Oh no, another headliner origin game. As this is one of the more recent releases in the Star Wars franchise, and the main headliner game coming out of June Choice, I convinced myself that maybe it wouldn't be so bad. However, after trying it, I can almost definitely confirm that I will never be opening this game again. I don't mind the Star Wars theme, but the game is basically a Starship flying simulator, where you play half the game as the Empire and the half of the game as part of the Rebellion. Compared to the recent headliner games we've received like Borderlands 3 and Planet Zoo, this game has a lot less mainstream appeal, meaning a wider audience of people are less likely to enjoy the game as much. To make matters worse, apparently the game has been given away for free on 2 platforms fairly recently, I believe Amazon and Epic Games, but I could be mistaken. So anyone who actually wanted the game for a good deal already has it. Unfortunately, it's also looking like the trend of Humble giving Origin keys as headliners isn't stopping anytime soon. However, I recently made a video on Play Night, an application that allows you to browse and launch all your games across different libraries. If you're interested, click the card on the screen now or link in the description. Phoenix Point is a strategy game where you take control of a squad of soldiers and are required to move them through each mission. This is a definitive edition, so most if not all DLC for this game come packed in with it, ensuring you get the max amount of content. Not gonna lie, this is a title I would never think about buying if it wasn't in a bundled package like Humble Choice. Games like these are great for people who have lower end machines or like slower paced games while still having hours of content to play. Although from the trailers this game didn't really seem to pique my interest, I actually ended up having a decent time with this one. Definitely a title you'll have to put some serious time and thinking into, but this is a pretty good addition to the Humble Choice this month. It's pretty easy to tell that Call of the Sea is a very good looking puzzle game. It runs off Unreal Engine 4, and I thought the visuals as well as the audio in this game were very well done. The gameplay itself, however, is another story. From what I've played so far, this definitely seems like the kind of game that you end up watching and listening more than actually playing. To the right person, this probably holds a lot of value, especially since the story apparently takes about 6 hours to complete. If I enjoyed casual puzzle and adventure storytelling games a bit more, this would be right up my alley. However, with point and click games like this, I always end up spamming until I find out how to continue, which isn't that fun. Gamedec is the only game I didn't play from this month's Humble Choice, as it's one of the games I'm giving away to you guys. This is a non-combat single-player isometric RPG, where you play as a detective who solves crimes in different worlds. There is a ton of content in this game, with the main interesting feature being you decide how your character develops through decision making and talking to NPCs. There is a lot to think about when playing Gamedec, and even though most of the game is point and click, this still seems like a pretty enjoyable experience for RPG fans. From the Steam reviews, it seems the game is a good time, while being a bit rough around the edges, but the developer replying to every review makes me think there is a lot of time and effort creating this game. Considering I would never play this game again if I ended up redeeming it, if you're interested in winning Gamedec, simply leave a comment down below mentioning the game. One of the highlights this month for me was definitely Pumpkin Jack. This is a 3D platform type game where you control a reincarnated Pumpkin Jack who is the mythical Pumpkin Lord. I really enjoy games like these as it's like a combination of many types of games mixed in one. Adventure, action, puzzle, fighting, storytelling, and many other genres are mixed in here, creating a very enjoyable experience. These are the type of games I end up going back to complete and 100%, as I enjoy finding all the trinkets and unlockables in games like these because the gameplay is just so good. This game definitely has a recommendation for me, although you could definitely find it for a pretty good price outside of the bundle. Gloria Victis is another game I'd never look twice at if I was buying on my own terms, but ended up being pretty fun. This is Siege Survival, not to be confused with the main Gloria Victis MMO. First off, my gameplay glitched, so I lost my footage of the game, but basically you play the role of a civilian who lives in a city that was just under attack. Everything is in ruin and you are tasked with helping the surviving civilians find supplies and hold back the invaders the best you can. This one kinda reminded me of Diablo, as the game is played from a bird's eye view, but still incredibly detailed and fun. There's a lot going on when you play, almost too much for me to really enjoy myself, just because there's so much to think about and so much going on, so much you gotta keep track of. However, I still had a really good time at this game, way better than anticipated. For the interesting and unique game this month, we have I Am Fish. I ended up having a decent amount of fun with this one. Think 3D platformer like Battle for Bikini Bottom, but as a fish. At least for the first level, you roll around town in a fishbowl, and if you fall off a height too tall, you must respawn. The controls were a bit interesting in this game, but likely get easier as you go along and progress. I love when Humble includes games like these, as I feel like not many people had this on their wish list, but lots of people will be able to enjoy it regardless. Humble, if you're listening, add more indie games like these, please. Finally, we come to SUPERHOT Mind Control Delete. This is the second game I'm giving away this month, as owners of SUPERHOT received a copy of this game for free when it released a year or two ago. If you've played SUPERHOT before, you've essentially played Mind Control Delete. This is a fairly straightforward puzzle game where you slow manipulate time to make your way through each level however you choose. I definitely enjoyed playing through SUPERHOT, but not enough to go out of my way and play the sequel. Still, this is a really fun game, and even if you didn't play the first one, you can still fully enjoy Mind Control Delete. In order to win this game for yourself for free, head over to my Twitter page at NardView. All you gotta do is drop a follow and retweet my pinned tweet explaining the giveaway, and you're all set. I'll be revealing the winner over on there next month when my July review drops. Well, we've reached the end of the list. So, do I recommend the Humble choice for June this year? Not really. This is definitely a bundle that only specific people will enjoy, or the ones that recognize a game or two that's been on their wish list or something. Let's head over to the ranking screen so I can go a little bit more into detail. As usual, I'll be ranking the games not on personal preference, but on how much value they add to the bundle. To start us off in the great category, the only games I have here are Pumpkin Jack and Phoenix Point. Pumpkin Jack is a great all-around game that I believe players from all genres will enjoy, and Phoenix Point has a bunch of content to play through and seems fairly welcoming to those who aren't huge RPG fans. Next in good, I have Call of the Sea, Gamedec, Gloria, Victis, and SUPERHOT. These are all games with a decent amount of content that I believe lots of players will still enjoy. These games probably aren't the reason why you're buying the bundle this month, but they definitely help making the decision. The only game I have in the category is I Am Fish. While this is a very unique and colorful game, I can't really see myself playing more than an hour or so of this game at a time. Still a fun concept, but may not resonate with players the same way that Gamedec or SUPERHOT do. Finally, the only game in the Humble Y category is Star Wars. Reason again being the Origin Key. Another month receiving a game that is on Steam as an Origin Key for why exactly? Because it's cheaper for Humble to acquire. If there was a second or third headliner and there was another main game, I wouldn't feel so harsh, but considering it's been free on other platforms and not even on Steam, with Humble, this earned Squadron's this rating. So in conclusion, I can't really recommend the bundle for June this year. If I hadn't been making a review video on the choice this month, I definitely would have skipped. If there's a few games you want out of the bunch, I recommend you buy them individually instead of getting 6 games you don't want. As stated before, leave a comment below for Gamedec and go retweet my pinned tweet for SUPERHOT. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.